Hi, guys. Okay, I'm sorry I have a cold, so I sound a little crazy. Um, the retro wave, how dope. Okay, horror movies, early 2000s. There's like tons and tons and tons of great ones. Um, it's the beginning of all the like dope franchises. You have Saw, you have Paranormal Activity, you have Final Destination. Um, you have The Ring. You have Kane's movie, Leslie Vernon, Behind the Mask was really good. He loves that one too. Oh shit, there's so many. Um, Rob Zombie's Halloween. Can't forget about that one. Even though it probably won't make many lists. Um, wow, you guys have your work cut out for you. How exciting. God, I'd love to sit down and watch all of those movies again. Anyway, thanks for being a fan of mine, and I hope you give me a good review on Halloween, Rob Zombie's Halloween. And spooky season is among us. I feel it. It's September, almost October. Sending you guys lots of love and wishing you luck on your podcast. I know it's hard work, but you can do it. Thanks for being a fan of mine. Happy almost Halloween, guys. Bye.
Welcome back to the Retro Wave. I am your host, El Tiburon. Back again. This time we're doing favorite horror movies, 2000 to 2009. I don't know if she introduced herself, but that you heard was Danielle Harris, the very sexy, very sensual Danielle Harris. And let me
Wow.
introduce a couple of other sensual
Swing.
people here. We got returning back the Professor Tyler Stevenson, the former Native American Tatanka. What's going on, Tyler?
Hey, buddy, glad you have me. That was awesome to hear from Daniela there. Every Halloween movie with her is a banger. Like yeah,
I should take that one back because she was like a
yeah,
kid.
cause he was just a little kid in the first two. But man, she what a fantastic actress though she was. Like I don't think
Yeah.
any little kid is that good of a child actor as her. Yeah.
Yeah. We also got joining us third time on these spooky episodes. He's been on other episodes too. We got Zomberry. What's going on, Zomberry?
Yeah, if it comes down to horror or video games, I'm there.
There you go.
Doing
yeah,
good.
so we're gonna be talking about horror movies 2000 through 2009. That those were the parameters. But in making that like the parameters, I started thinking, and I'll ask Zomberry first. Is 2000 to 2009 technically retro? Is that retro now?
I think 2000 to 2003. I'd say retro is like 20 years. You know, and when you go to get your new tag for your car, at 20 years, your car is now cheaper because they consider it an antique or whatever. So, 20 years is probably retro enough.
What says you, Tyler? Is that retro? Are we
No, that
talking
sounds
about
good.
old ass movies?
I like Zomberry's take on it. I would think anything back behind 2000, but yeah, 2003 is getting back there a ways. Nah.
Yeah. So would you say early 2000 is retro, but
Yeah, yeah, I would
maybe
say
not the
yeah, 20.
movies after 2006, 2007 aren't?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Uh
It all seems new to me still. Like I'm stuck racking the retro before that, so it all seems new to me. But I guess yeah, I consider that retro the early 2000s.
Yeah, I think a
yeah.
lot of the movies back then too, like Daniela was saying, like that kicked off franchises that might be 7, 8, or 10 movies deep.
Yeah,
The first ones are going to be a little retro.
yeah.
when we think about video games, right? Like, what was that? PS2, Xbox,
Oh yeah, PS2 and
GameCube. That to me
yeah,
does feel retro.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, it should be interesting. Like this is the retro wave, but this is, I guess, more like kind of in the middle, maybe the gray area.
Yeah,
Is it retro? Is it modern? Is it
yeah.
both?
Especially for
Go ahead. Go
for
ahead.
kids that are like, sorry but to interrupt you, kids that are like around 20 now, I think they really would say this is retro. Um, like kids in their early 20s, the stuff we're going to be talking about is definitely retro to them.
Yeah, I wonder. Well, you guys have kids. I don't have kids. Do your kids
Yeah.
ever say like, "That's old"? If something's like 2000 or something, they're like, "We don't want to watch that old movie."
No, my kids are pretty used to it. I think being somebody that I started my kids out on the NES, playing old games, and we watch older movies all the time. So I think they're pretty cool with it.
Yeah, my girls are cool with old stuff. Like I got them watching Bed Knobs and Broomsticks and Clash of the Titans and Jason and the Argonauts when they were little. So,
Oh, so they're used to it. You guys
yeah.
are raising them right, is what you're saying.
For sure.
Bringing them
Yeah.
up on the good stuff. All right. Well, we got a lot of movies to talk about, so we're gonna take a quick commercial break and come back and rank our favorite horror movies from 2000 to 2009.
This is my killer DVD system.
This is my killer DVD rental section.
You have the hardware, Blockbuster has the software. We have more DVDs to rent than ever, and you like your DVD rental guaranteed. The best way to DVD is Blockbuster.
Rent.
Damn, that reminds me of going back to the video games. My first ever DVD like system I had was my PlayStation 2. I don't know about you guys. Tyler, did you have a DVD player?
I don't think I had one until I got the original Xbox, and you had to get that special remote control for it. But so a video game system was my first DVD player.
Yeah, PS2 was my first DVD player.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like because I remember I had a friend that bought a DVD player for like $300.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
At the
Yeah.
time, PS2s were cheaper than DVD players. So that was a lot of people's first ones. They were buying it just for that.
Yeah, well, you think about it, you had a DVD player and a gaming console all in one.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it was easier, right? Like you didn't like you mentioned the Xbox, right? You didn't need like the little whatever, the dongle or whatever to
Yeah,
attach.
you
You needed
needed
something,
that. You
right?
needed a special. Yeah, you needed a special wireless receiver with a controller. I still have it, but you needed
Yeah.
that. PS2 would just play it with your controller, like right out of the box.
Yeah. And a lot of the first DVDs I bought, I remember, I don't know about you guys, but I still remember buying Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And one of those
Yeah,
like the DVD case where it was like I don't know what you call it, but it would clasp on or something. Like it had
Yeah.
like a little clasp on plastic thing to close the DVD. It was like I don't think they make those anymore, right?
I've
they
seen some.
clasp.
I've got some on some of my older movies. They always break.
Uh,
Okay, that's probably why they
was it
stopped making
was
them.
it was it the ones that clasp onto the cardboard?
Yeah, those where the
Yeah, yeah,
front
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah,
front lid
yeah,
is cardboard, right?
yeah. Those are terrible. I like them though. I have a
Those are terrible. I like 'em.
yeah. Because
Yeah.
they don't look good. They stack funny, but I like the way they look.
Yeah, because I think those had still like the original artwork, and then it feels
Yeah,
like after that they started to just throw like some of the DVD like Blu-rays. They look like they just photoshopped, like someone photoshopped
yeah,
like a cover, and here's Friday the 13th, and you're like, that's not the Friday the
yeah,
13th poster.
yeah.
All right, well, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna rank our favorite horror movies 2000 2009. We go from number 5 to number 1. Um, we're gonna let Ty Lord go first. And this is not a very surprising pick. It makes sense. So let's go to Ty Lord's number 5 first.
money to come down here. They expect to use everything, including the beaches.
You cannot let people swim in the water when there's a shark out there! We've got 60-foot sharks swimming off our coast. It's not gonna go away.
I don't know. Ancestor of the great white shark. It's supposed to be extinct.
You lied to me? 7 men dead. You knew something was dangerous down there, and you let them dive anyway.
They knew it was risky.
Bull fucking shit!
You want something powerful enough to nut yourself. You blow a hole closer to the hollow battleship.
This has to be one of the longest trailers
It is so
we've
long.
ever played out here. But at number 5, Ty Lord's got Shark Attack 3. Tell us about Shark Attack 3.
Yeah, anything with a roaring shark I like Jaws: The Revenge, and this has a roaring shark. I'd say this is like the grandfather of all cheesy shark movies, like all the sci-fi originals and all that. I think it all goes back to this one. There might have been some before this, like Shark Attack 1 and 2 were kind of goofy, but I think they took themselves a little bit more serious. Not to say this one doesn't take itself serious. It's just like the cheese factor is through the roof, and it's not Jaws: The Revenge and Jaws 3 are not the king of cheesy shark movies. Like, those are high budget movies. Like, this is nowhere near on the level of Jaws: The Revenge. This is like a straight to DVD movie, but there's a lot I like about it. Since there were no more Jaws movies, this series came along, Shark Attack. There was one with Casper Van Dien that was pretty good, and then there was a second one directed by David Worth, and this one's directed by David Worth. I wanted to bring him up because he's one of my favorite directors. Like, he covers all of my favorite genres over his career, and he's still alive and he still makes movies. But he's done the post-apocalyptic exploitation movies. He's done the martial arts movies. He's done quite a few, like Cynthia Rothrock movies, and he's actually directed Kickboxer, the original Kickboxer. And he did this one. I would have picked Shark Attack 2, but this one I think it has more good talking points, and it's kind of more of iconic as far as like memes and stuff. This is the one with the weird special effects. It has some pretty good animatronic sharks in it, like big ones. You would almost confuse it with Jaws. A couple of the little cutaway or little cuts of this, the big animatronic shark. But it has like the weird effect that I've never seen in any other movie, where there's stock footage of sharks. There's a lot of stock footage of sharks. Like, you'll see it eating bait or something, but it's supposed to be a person, so it looks pretty gross. I would have been probably grossed out by this if I saw it when I was really young. But as stock, like, it'll show a diver getting attacked, and it'll just see the shark chomping on like bait or whatever, and all this guts and blood are going everywhere. But it has this weird effect where there's stock footage of a great white shark, and it will breach and eat the bait, but they'll superimpose like people in there, or like one time there's a raft and the shark, the stock shark footage eats the people. It's just really hilarious effect. I guess it looks bad, but I always got a kick out of it. So it's got that. It's got some funny characters in there. The main guy is John Barrowman. And I guess he went on to do bit television, like he got popular with television. I don't care about that. I just care about Shark Attack 3. And he plays the main guy. He's like a lifeguard. And there's this evil corporation called like Apex Communications that are putting a communication cable across the bottom of the ocean, and the shark's coming attracted to it. And the city mayor and the CEO of this company are trying to keep it quiet, typical Jaws stuff. And then, of course, our hero, I think his name's Ben, teams up with a really hot female marine biologist. And I think the actress's name is Jenny McShane, and she was actually in Shark Attack 1, but played a different character. But and of course they have a romantic thing going on. This is the one. I don't know if you've seen the line in this movie. I think it was an improv line where the guy tells the girl, like, they just had like an action scene and it's nighttime, and he's telling the girl, "Man, I want to go to sleep, but I'm really wired. Why don't I take you home and eat your your V?" And they just left it in the movie. I think some of the versions are on TV. He says, "I'm really wired. Why don't we go home and watch I Love Lucy?" And they just dub that over. But and then they go home and have a pound scene. Um, but yeah, a lot of female nudity in this, which is awesome. Very popular in the early 2000s. What else did I like about it? And I guess it's
let me ask you something, Tylord. Do I need to watch the first two in order to know what's going on in the third one?
No,
Like,
no,
am I
none of
gonna
them are
watch part
connected.
3 and be
No,
like, I don't understand this
no,
story?
no. None of them are connected. None of the movies are connected. And you might actually like this. I know you don't like the slow burn horror movies, like the boring ones. But this one's just pretty entertaining all the way through, like super bad, but like pretty entertaining all the way through. Kind of like one of those so bad it's good, like just like entertaining from start to finish.
Any thoughts on this one, Zomberry?
No, I've never seen it, and just hearing about this one makes me feel like all of my picks are going to be way too vanilla and mainstream.
As you were explaining it, I was like, this sounds like a Troll 2, but a shark version. Like, it's just so
I
bad.
mean, but it has pretty good production value, but it's pretty bad.
Was it a straight to DVD?
Yeah.
Or straight to VHS at the time?
I couldn't find a TV spot, nothing, because it never.
Oh, really?
It went to the theaters, I think.
Yeah, I thought it had gained some popularity because like everyone jokes about it on the internet. I thought it was like I thought it was like a popular, like, bad movie. I don't think it's bad. I've seen way worse than this, but it's like a fun bad movie.
Yeah, there's always a shark pick. But there is
at
there
least
ever,
one. At least
yeah, there's.
one.
Yeah.
I'm even thinking, like, even in the video games when we did the NES episode, you had
Yeah.
Jaws.
Yeah.
NES if there was
I
a
got
Jaws
Deep Blue.
for the other consoles, you probably would have added one too. Like for
Yeah.
the other episodes.
I heard the PS2 version's pretty good.
Oh, I don't know about that one.
Jaws Unleashed.
Yeah.
All right. So all right, that's your number 5. I'm gonna go. I'm actually gonna let Zomberry go last this time. So I'm gonna go next to my number 5 pick.
Kiss him. Stay. I feel nauseous. Can you help me?
You don't look so hot.
Is he safe? He's all sick.
She's not coming near me.
You
I don't want to get sick. I don't want any of us getting sick. I say we get out of here right now.
Cabin fever.
To be honest, I had a hard time picking something at number 5. I don't know about you guys, but I had like a difficult time. I think my number 5 could have been like they could have been like 10 different movies. Yeah. But I'm like, I'm just going to put this one in there. Cabin Fever.
Yeah, that's what I thought that was.
Yeah, I remember really liking this movie back in the day. It's got one of the kids from Boy Meets World with Topanga. I don't know if you guys ever watched Boy Meets World.
Yeah.
But I don't know if there's this. I guess I should have done my research, but you guys will tell me. Is this Robert Rodriguez or is this Eli Roth? Eli Roth, I think, right?
Oh, I don't remember.
No,
I think it might be Eli.
Yeah, I think it's Eli Roth because I think he comes out in the movie. He has like a cameo in the movie. But I really like this one, and in watching it, I don't know why I was getting like COVID vibes. Because the movie starts off with like a guy getting infected because it's like a guy in the forest and there's like a dog and he touches, like, he opens the dog is like cut in half or something, and the blood gets on him, so he gets infected. And then he goes on infecting everybody else. He dies in a lake. So then other people start drinking the water from that reservoir, and then they start getting sick. It's like it just gets out of hand. But I really like this one. It's a really like very like kind of gross movie, gory movie. Like I was gonna say claustrophobic, like cabin fever. Well, they have cabin fever, and everybody's turning against each other. And it's one of those that like I was thinking like if I was in that situation, what would I do? Because with one of the girls that gets infected, they just lock her up in like a shack because everybody's like, we don't want to touch her, we don't want to be around her, so they like lock her up. She ends up dying in the shack, I think. Yeah, but I had a fun time watching this one. I don't know if you guys, any of you guys have seen this one.
Yeah, I watched it when it came out. I haven't watched it since then. I think I have it. It needs to be rewatched though.
Yeah. Have you seen it, Tyler?
I've seen it, but that was back when I was like early 20s, so I'd have to rewatch it to comment more on it. But I remember it was good. It was different than what I expected.
Yeah, it was probably the first. I always get Robert Rodriguez and Eli Roth confused. I don't know why.
Because
I don't know if
they're both Quentin Tarantino's buddies.
yeah, maybe that's why. But I think this one's Eli Roth, and it was the first Eli Roth movie I ever saw. I don't know if he did Hostel too, or if that was Robert Rodriguez. But yeah, I thought it was a fun one, and it kind of reminds me of this time that I actually met the actor from Boy Meets World. I used to work at a vitamin shop, and like near Beverly Hills, and he came in one time, and it was one of those like awkward interactions because I was like, oh, you're that. I was like the cashier, and he came and he bought his stuff, and I was like, oh, you're that guy from the show, and he looks at me, he's like, yeah, I'm the guy from that show, and then he just walks. You think about it, it probably was kind of mean that I was like, "You're that guy from that show," but I couldn't like remember the name of Boy Meets World at the time. He got pretty pissed off.
Oh,
never meet your heroes.
Yeah, never meet your heroes unless they're Hulk Hogan. He did not disappoint. All right, well, that was my number 5. We're gonna go to Zomberry's number 5 pick now.
Busy day. 12:30 power lunch.
Another martini, Paul.
3:45 board meeting.
What do you think? Oh, very nice.
7 o'clock friendly takeover.
Patrick, you're so sweet.
9:15 make a killing.
So, what do you do?
I'm into, murders and executions mostly.
American Psycho. Rated R.
Number 5, Zomberry. You got American Psycho.
Yeah, man. I think one of his best movies. I know he's like such a method actor and he's done a lot of great stuff, but American Psycho was definitely him, I think, at his best. It's a movie that explores a lot of the 1980s like masculinity. It's basically a satire on Wall Street and consumerism. And then the character Patrick Bateman, slowly turning from this yuppie who's self-absorbed and, very OCD in all of his little regimens that he does, to becoming a psycho killer and murdering dozens of people, for which it seems like nobody cares around him, which is pretty wild. And it kind of confuses the ending of the movie a bit. You get to the end and when everybody's like, oh no, you couldn't have killed so-and-so. I had lunch with him in Paris last week. It's like, well, did he really commit all these murders? Is it all in his head? But if you read the book and listen to the commentary from the author, yeah, he really did kill all those people, and it was everybody else just so self-absorbed that they just either didn't notice or didn't give a shit that he was killing all these people. but it's a very quotable movie, and I think a lot of my top 5 movies are very quotable. At least 3 of them. You know, and the iconic scene of him killing his business partner while listening to Huey Lewis in the news and talking about like the whole discography and like, you know, what are his favorite songs while he's dancing around with an axe. You know, it's pretty funny. Did you guys like this?
Have you seen it, Tyler?
Honestly, I hate to admit it, I've never seen this. It's
What?
one of those. Yeah, it's one of those movies like I always put off. Like I want to find a special time to watch it, but I never do.
I'm surprised. I'm usually the one that hasn't
Yeah,
seen shit, and then you
uh,
haven't seen this one. I've seen this one.
yeah.
This
Uh,
is one
uh,
of the ones that could have easily been in my like number 4 or 5, but um, I did. It's honorable mention for sure. It's a fun one. I
Yeah,
think
it's
you
a
would
good
really like
movie.
it. You would really
Yeah, no,
like
I
it.
got. Yeah, I gotta watch it. I have so many
Yeah,
movies on the back burner. That's like one I wanted to save and watch at a special time. It's not something my wife would like. That's another thing. Like maybe I should watch it with someone or watch it by myself. I don't know.
it's
Yeah,
it's
it's
pretty
more like
disturbing, right?
psychological thriller,
Yeah,
you know, than it is like a slasher flick. It's more like
Yeah,
Silence of the Lambs ish.
yeah.
but that character is so like off the wall and nuts.
Uh-huh.
That Bateman character, like
Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
like you're talking about, he brings that dude that's played by Jared Leto to his
yeah.
apartment, and then he's putting on like a trench coat because he's about to give him the axe, but
And
he's like
the guy doesn't even notice he's sitting on the couch with all this newspaper and plastic sheeting all
Yeah.
over the place.
but he's listening to Phil Collins. I think yeah, he plays Huey
Yeah.
Lewis, right? And then he's
Yeah,
talking
Yeah.
about the discography. Doesn't he start talking about Phil Collins too? Like, oh, Phil Collins was in Genesis, and he
yeah.
starts going off on like Phil Collins' career and Genesis, and I don't know what before he kills the character. And there's a scene also, I think Zomberry, you might remember it, where there's a couple of ladies and Bateman on the bed and a camcorder, and
Yeah.
Phil Collins Susu Studio playing in the background.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
you can tell when he starts going a little crazy, and then he goes to an ATM machine, and the ATM machine, the print says, "I want you to feed me a cat." And then so he finds this stray cat, and he's like holding it up to the ATM machine and about to shoot this cat for the ATM machine to eat,
Yeah.
and gets interrupted by some lady, and he shoots her. You know, it's like,
Yeah, there's like a scene where he's doing crunches, like all like intense, like intensely into it, and and he has Texas Chainsaw Massacre in the background, like that almost seems to be
oh
pumping him
wow.
up. It's really
yeah.
like nuts. The movie's nuts. It's a good one though. Great pick. Any other thoughts? Any other thing you want to add, Zomberry?
They did make a part 2, but it wasn't as good. I'll just leave it at that.
It's Mila Kunis, right?
Yeah.
Is the killer. All right. All right, we're gonna go to Ty Lord's number 4 pick now.
Take me!
Another one I couldn't find a TV spot for. Tyler's got it number 4. Dagon, or how do you pronounce it?
Dagon.
Dagon. Okay. Tell us
Yeah.
about Dagon.
Okay. I love this movie, and I didn't even know about it until Blockbuster. It was in the for sale DVDs, and my brother and I and they had like buy 5 or 3 for $1 or whatever. My brother and I went and picked out some movies, and it was like 3 for $10 or whatever. And this movie was there, and I wasn't really familiar with H.P. Lovecraft until that point. Like the only thing I knew about was the Reanimator. That's like the only thing I didn't know about. All of his weird mythos and the ancient ones and the elder ones and all that. After I saw this, I got into it, and I read some of the short stories and the stories. But and another thing, I've been obsessed with Resident Evil 4 for like 20 years now, and I just like played that game a bunch, and I saw this movie there, and it was directed by Stuart Gordon. That's a lot of the good like H.P. Lovecraft adaptations, like he did the Reanimators and From Beyond. He's done a lot more of them, and he did that movie Castle Freak. But I think this is my favorite movie he's done. It has fantastic atmosphere. It's creepy as heck. It's gross and creepy atmosphere. It's a really good horror movie. It's based on Shadow over Innsmouth, the H.P. Lovecraft novel, which the movie is named Dagon, but it's not an adaptation of that particular short story. Oh, sorry, okay.
It's not you. Sarah lost her tablet.
Oh, sorry, my grill's. But this movie is it's an adaptation of Shadow over Innsmouth. I don't want to get into what it's about, but the story is about 2 rich couples out on a yacht in like Spain, somewhere in the Mediterranean or near Spain, somewhere on the ocean, and the main character, he's played by Ezra Godin. He's a really good underrated actor. He kind of is like a dweeby guy. He's like into the stock market, and he just won all kinds of money. And him and his girlfriend are so happy, and he's there with another rich couple, and they're out on this yacht. But something happens. The yacht has problems, and it starts sinking, and the other couple's in there, and they're injured. And him and his girlfriend go to shore. They're in Spain. There's a creepy little village there. And that's where like the similarities to Resident Evil 4 are like uncanny. Like this movie had to have been watched and inspired whoever it was, Shinji Mikami, that made Resident Evil 4, because it's a village of creepy, almost zombie-like Spanish villagers in this creepy little town, and they're a creepy little cult. They have a weird religion. It's based on the Dagon cult from the H.P. Lovecraft novel, but it's set in Spain. That's set like on the East Coast of the novel. This is set in Spain. So there's these anyway, the man and his lady get separated. She gets kidnapped, so he's looking for her. He's injured, and he's running away from all these crazy village people. They're actually kind of like fish people. Like, it's a weird mythos, a weird backstory to this. I don't really want to give it away because you got to watch this movie. Like, these people, they start off as human, and they pray to this fish god, and eventually, as they grow older, they turn more and more fish-like, and then they go out to the sea and live forever as immortal fish people. But when they're younger, they're more human, and as they grow older, they turn more fish. But it's freaking creepy. There's a lot of and especially after playing Resident Evil 4 Remake, like that really looks like this, because that game looks more realistic. It's more wet. It's like this is a rainy, wet place. But these creepy villagers, the main guy, his name is Paul Marsh, and he's looking for he kind of has his ancestry kind of ties back to this place. There's kind of like a twist to this, but he's kind of a dweeby guy, and he's looking for his girlfriend. He has to man up a couple of times. This movie gets really dark. There's like a face peeling off of a face. Like, there's really good practical effects, like body gore effects. Like, there's someone's face gets peeled off. These people like to capture people and take their skin off like Leatherface and wear it. There's some crappy CGI stuff, but it doesn't really bother me that much. But the main guy, he's kind of funny. He's like a nerdy guy with glasses, and he's always stumbling. It's almost comedic. Some of the time he's running away from these villagers. It's kind of comedic, but scary at the same time. And he kind of, I think Stuart Gordon. I watched the commentary, and he said he based Ezra Goddard's Edra Godin, I can't pronounce his name. He based his character on the old physical comedian from like the 1920s. His name was it Harold Lloyd? I don't know if you guys remember Harold Lloyd. He was like a nerdy guy with glasses, but he would do all those crazy physical comedy things. Like he'd walk onto a beam, like a construction site, and fall off and be hanging off of like a clock tower or the hand of the clock on the clock tower. I don't know if you remember him. But it's kind of like that type of.
I thought that was like Buster Keaton.
Yeah, he was a he was a Buster Keaton or a Charlie Chaplin type of guy back then. He did a lot of similar stuff that they did, but his character kind of seems like that, like a lot of slapsticky stuff when he's running away from these scary villagers, and he meets the village princess, and she's this really attractive, beautiful like Spanish girl, but. So her lower body's all like tentacles and stuff. It's really gross. But it's a really creepy movie, and his buddies end up getting captured, and they like to impregnate the women, and because they don't have any fresh human blood, they're kind of getting inbred, so they impregnate the women they find to give birth to more a stronger blood. It's a creepy movie. With a little bit of dark humor in there, but really blew me away when I first saw it. Like I was not expecting something like that to be that good. I think it's straight to video, but it's a good director, Stuart Gordon. It has some good practical effects, and it has some good comedy. I think it's a fantastic movie, a really creepy movie. I don't know if you guys ever seen it.
Have you, Zomberry?
I've never seen it, but I know I've seen some H.P. Lovecraft stuff, and he definitely likes his tentacles.
Yeah,
his stuff definitely is weird.
Yeah.
You said he did what? Castle Freak and what else?
Yeah, the original Castle Freak. He did From Beyond. A lot of those ones with what's his name, Jeffrey Combs. What were the other ones? I think he did Pit and the Pendulum. He did, of course, Reanimator. He did.
Oh, he did Reanimator. Okay, I've seen one of those.
Yeah. Reanimator is really good. That's like the only thing I was familiar with before I saw that. With as far as H.P. Lovecraft goes.
So it's that vibe, like Reanimator, kind of goofy, spooky vibe.
Kind of goofy, spooky. A lot different of a movie than that. It's kind of like a mixture. It's kind of it has kind of a Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibe, but it's kind of like culture shock, like it's in another country, and this village has this weird traditions and weird religion.
Okay, I have one to look out for. I've seen the cover. Doesn't it have like some guy's face, like with sharp teeth?
He's like a fish guy, and he's like screaming with his mouth open.
Yeah. I've seen the cover, but I was like, what? I never knew what it was. But
it's good. It was even it was a pleasant surprise because I was just playing Resident Evil 4, and I was going, man, there should be a movie like this. And I watched that movie, go, man, this is like Resident Evil 4. It even has like a lot of the imagery and the sets and the location and the Spanish villagers, and they're kind of stumbling, speaking Spanish. And then even the merchant guy, there's a character like a fisherman on a boat. He looks just like the merchant from Resident Evil 4.
Does somebody get a belly-to-belly suplex and they gone?
Oh, no, no.
Like Leon Kennedy hits?
Yeah, no, that's like the thing with Resident Evil. The main guy wasn't really that of a tough guy like Leon. He was kind of like a dweeby guy, which kind of made it more scary.
All right. Well, that's the second one I got to check out. Yeah, that's one I always remember seeing like the cover too, but never rented it when I would go to the videos. Yeah. All right. I'm going to go. It's my turn. I'm going to go to my number 4 pick now.
Coming soon.
He is an unstoppable killing machine.
What the hell is going on?
Jason Voorhees!
Guys, it's okay. He just wanted his machete back. Uh-oh.
He's been modified. Oh, you think? You guys might want to run.
Jason X.
I don't think he's out there.
Why don't you stick your head out and have a peek?
I can't help it. I can't help it. I gotta have Jason Voorhees. The damn wall behind me. That's all Jason. I got Jason X at number 4. One, I remember going to the theater to watch this. This was probably the second, probably the 13th I ever went to go watch in the theater. Funny enough, both movies I went to go watch were not called Friday the 13th. It was Jason Goes to Hell and Jason X.
Yeah.
But man, I remember just thinking this movie was really fun and being like really like thirsty for some Jason Voorhees because Jason Goes to Hell was like what 92, 93. So we had like a
Oh wow,
long
so it's
gap.
been a while. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a long gap between the Jason Goes to Hell and Jason X. I remember when
Yeah.
this came out, I did not care that this was going to be in space. I was just thinking Jason's back. I got to go watch this movie, and
Yeah.
I think it's really fun. It's really cheesy, but I think it doesn't really take itself seriously. Either
A
like
lot
yeah.
of the series get kind of shit on whenever they go to space. You know, that's kind of like a meme. But
Yeah.
But Jason in space was good, and Hellraiser in space was good.
I haven't seen the Hellraiser one. I gotta
Yeah.
watch. So you're saying Leprechaun in space wasn't good? What are your thoughts on this one, Ty Lord, Jason X?
Oh, I love this. Like I don't have a problem with Jason going to space. I've always loved it. Like you can only do the Crystal Lake so much. I love that. I can't get enough of that either. But you can only do that so much. That you got to take Jason to the next level and see how he can kick ass in space, just like at a camp.
And it's so funny.
Yeah, no, I like it. It's
Jason reacted to some of the things like futuristic
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
You know, he goes to try to drown that lady in the sink, and it's like
Yeah.
full of the
cryo freeze.
Yeah, cryo freeze.
And it just
Yeah.
freezes her face, and he's like, "What the hell?" Oh, okay, he smashes it anyway.
That's the best.
Yeah.
That's the best effect in the movie, I think. That cryo
Yeah.
freeze. Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
it's like a fun deep space horror adventure with an unlikely monster.
yeah, I think for me this is one of those that I mean I would say I love 99% of the Friday the 13th movies. The only one I don't really love is the 2009 one, I think it is 2009. That's the only one I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I can take it or leave it. Like I don't love that one.
Okay.
Yeah, and
But
then Jason becoming a cyborg Jason with the nanoparticles like that. That was
Uber
badass. Yeah.
Uber Jason. Yeah. And this was the last time Kane Hodder portrayed Jason. This was his swan
Yeah.
song in Voorhees, Jason
Yeah.
X. Yeah, but just really fun. I think he kills Cronenberg, David Cronenberg in the
Yeah,
beginning.
yeah, the beginning, yeah.
And just I love when he goes like when they're trying to get him at the end and they do like this simulation that he's at Crystal Lake. I remember when watching that as a
Yeah.
teenager, being like, oh, he's back in Crystal Lake, and he just like looking around, like he's like, oh, I'm back
Yeah.
home, and what is it? The girls like lift up their shirts.
Yeah.
Show 'em. Like, are you ready? Do you want some premarital sex? Do you want to smoke pot? And Jason just starts beating him. Yeah, it's a fun one. I love Jason X. I don't know if you guys have any
Yeah.
other thoughts on it.
No, it was a great movie. It's a
Yeah.
fun
Yeah, I love
one
it.
to watch. You know,
Yeah.
it's not really scary. You know, it's not serious. It's just fun.
Yeah. It's the definition. I think it's when I think of popcorn movie, this is a popcorn movie.
Yeah.
Shut off your brain, pop it in. You know, not a lot of deep thinking with this one. All right, who's next? We're gonna go to Zomberries. What are we at? Number 4
Number
pick
4
now.
for me.
Get out of it. Get out of it.
Dad, are you alright?
Yeah, I'm fine, sweetheart.
sorry I lost my temper. Hannah, I love you very much.
What?
Keep away from me. Stay where you are.
Dad?
Keep away from me!
Dad?
Keep away from me! Keep away from me! Keep away! Keep away! Keep away!
What's wrong? Dad!
Jen! Jen is infected! No! Jen! Jen, kill it! Kill
At number 4, Zomberry, you've got 28 Days Later. There you go.
Yeah, that scene right there where he's like trying to shoo off the crow and just that little drop of blood from the crow's mouth drips into his eye and infects him after he's survived all that crap up until that point. It's like that's what got him. Like, oh man.
Yeah.
So this movie came out like it was one of the very first ones that decided, hey, let's get away from the slow, campy zombie. Let's have zombies that run. Let's have fast zombies. And that just made it a lot more scary. You know, even though George Romero would say these aren't really zombies, because in his words, zombies don't run. They were zombies. I believe that they were. But it made it so much more frightening. You know, they weren't this slow, cumbersome thing that was coming at you. Now they were in packs and they were fast and you had to run from them. And the infection spread just as fast as they ran. Like you heard in the preview, like it wasn't this thing that just takes time that, oh, he got bit on the arm, let's cut off the arm and now it stopped. You know, it was once you were infected, you were infected. And, you know, the opening scene, the main character wakes up in a hospital oblivious to everything else that was going on because he was in a coma, and he gets out of the hospital and just everything's just empty and bleak. You know, the cinematography and the camera work was awesome to make it look like, you know, London was just completely empty. Everything was on fire and looted and trashed, and he has no idea what's going on. It's kind of like the opening of The Walking Dead.
I was gonna say that. Did The Walking
it's
Dead
like The Walking Dead ripped
steal
that off?
from,
I think
from this?
I think so.
Yeah.
But yeah, this it was a really good movie that kind of like reshaped that genre, you know, and made it more of, it didn't just need the zombie to bite you. You get blood or spit or anything on you and, you know, you're gone. And it really showed like, you know, the humanity that people had. Like nobody trusted anybody.
Yeah.
The army were kidnapping people and raping them and, you know, just killing indiscriminately, you know, whoever they wanted. And, you know, what did you guys think of this one? I know you both seen it.
Tylord. Go ahead, Tyler.
Oh yeah, this is lovely. That I don't know if you want to lead into number 3, but this was my number 3 pick.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
There you go. Jump right into it.
Oh yeah, this one's fantastic. Like I was always hungry for a good zombie movie because I was a big fan of the Romero movies, and there's a few good ones here and there, but mostly there it wasn't as prominent as today. This is the thing that when this like zombie movies took off with this thing because it was so different, it was so good. Like it still had some of the classic formula, but it totally changed. Like you said, it's way more intense, way more scary, way more sense of hopelessness because the zombies are so fast, and it's super serious movie too. Like usually I like a little humor with my movies, like sprinkled in, or a lot of humor as well. But this one, pretty serious, bleak movie. And it's fantastic. Like I think I saw this at the show a few times, and I bought the DVD right when it came out. Love this one. The music too. That theme song really sticks with you. It's so it's kind of like a kind of a repetitive building up theme that gets louder and louder. I really love the theme song of this movie. I think Danny Boyle directed this, and he went on to more things after that. And homeboy from
Harry Potter.
Oppenheimer is the main guy, huh?
Yeah, but the guy
And,
that died to the crow blood.
oh yeah, he was from Harry Potter. Yeah.
He was one of the professors in
Yeah,
Harry
yeah.
Potter.
Yeah, and the girl, the adult girl was Naomi Harris that played Moneypenny later on in the Bond movies.
Yeah, but at the time that this movie was made, like nobody knew any of these people.
Yeah, and they all knocked it out of the park. Yeah, it's just like you say, like the zombies are scary enough, but then like you think there's this light at the end of the tunnel, and they finally get to it, and those people are just there to rape the women. Like I thought that was freaking terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the lighthearted parts that they would, the only time that you got to really like the level of tenseness, they'd walk into a store and they would find some food and it'd be like,
that's
oh,
always
man,
like
you can finally breathe for a second, and then there's like zombies again. It's like,
My favorite zombie movie, I think to this day, is still Return of the Living Dead.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Because it was funny. It was funny.
Yeah.
This one was, like you said, this one was not funny. I do remember watching this one. This shit scared me. Because I was, and the other zombie movies, like you said, they walk, right? So you think, okay, I have a chance. I can, run away. As long as I don't, get cornered, I'm good. This one, I was like, oh, this ain't even fair. Like, if the infected are running after you, I'm dead.
Yeah, and they don't even have to bite you. They can just get their blood in your eye or in your mouth.
Yeah. This is probably the scariest zombie and / infected movie.
Yeah, because I think before this, like most zombies, it was more of a supernatural thing.
Right.
Where this is like a disease that could spread.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a good one. I do remember.
And then it got to World War Z, which got too fast and too weird with those zombies.
Oh, that's where they're like they're creating hills of zombies, aren't they?
Yeah,
like, climbing over each other.
Which was strange because I read the novel of that or the book, and the zombies were slow and that, just like the typical George A. Romero zombies. But the movie, they were like,
yeah, fast zombies is not fair.
Yeah, they're not fair. Yeah, screw that future.
All right, let me go around Zomberry. What's your plan? This happens in the United States. There's the infected and there's running infected. What's your first step?
Oh, I guess I'm getting my family and getting in the car and going anywhere possible. I don't know.
What do you do, Tyler?
I don't know the fast ones. I read the zombie survival guide, the same guy, Max Brooks, that wrote World War Z. Before that, he wrote Zombie Survival Guide. But that was more for the slow zombies. Like he says, go up to cold climate. Like just go drive like north or wherever it's cold, because the zombies can't move around that fast, and there's less people, so less zombies. And wear tight clothes that they can't grab, and cut your hair short so that it's less grab. And have small caliber weapons like 9mm, or you can hold more ammo, and you don't need a heavy bullet to kill the brain. You just need a small bullet to like ricochet around in their skull, because that.
I think
what else?
Are you guys muted?
No.
I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you. Well, you sound kind of.
I can't hear you guys.
There's a lot of reverb.
Technical difficulties. Oh,
you started pushing buttons.
Okay, yeah. I don't know.
A glitch, and
there you are.
Okay, now I hear you. I hear you now. You were kind of soft, like it was just.
Yeah, there was like a glitch on the stream here. So what would you do?
Well, for Mario and for anybody listening, like what Tyler was saying, like read the Zombie Survival Guide. Like that book is amazing.
Oh yeah,
read. It's just like it's like a Boy Scout manual for surviving zombie attacks. It's great.
Yeah.
But it doesn't explain fast zombies. It's not a fast zombie thing.
No, yeah. So I don't know what you would do. Maybe try to do some of the same, but at a faster pace. It just seems so hopeless, that scenario. Like the dad had his apartment locked up pretty good, but then eventually you run out of food and water.
Yeah, I don't know. I have arthritis and bone spurs in my right knee. I'd be toast. I'd be a goner.
If you're dependent on any kind of medication, you're screwed.
Yeah. Yeah, great pick.
Oh yeah,
All right.
I'd be screwed. Yeah, I got meds, so wouldn't last long.
So that's his first stop is Walgreens.
Yeah.
Stock up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like you said, Tyler, that was your number 3. That was your
Yeah.
number 3. So I'm gonna go to my number 3 pick now.
Jack-o'-lanterns. Putting on costumes. Handing out treats. This is the one night that the dead roam free.
You gotta be f***ing kidding me.
It's my first time, so just bear with me.
Always check your candy. Happy Halloween.
And number 3, I've got Trick or Treat. Had to lighten the mood because that fast zombie thing was scaring me. But I've got Trick or Treat with Sam. I love anthology horror movies. I don't know if it's because of my ADD, but I love little short stories, snackable stories, and just kind of like Cat's Eye or Creep Show, anthology horror. I love this movie. I love the character of Sam. And I like how all those stories like kind of tie in at some point. Like there's the guy that's like it's kind of like fighting, like raping people and killing them out on the street during Halloween. You got the kids that are trying to prank this one girl. What else is there? And then you got Sam. That's like, if you don't follow the Halloween traditions, he's gonna get you. He's gonna kill you. So he's kind of like the warden of Halloween or something. Yeah, great movie. This is a fun one. I don't know if you guys have seen this one.
Yeah, it's actually I put that on my honorable mentions.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm a fan of anthology too. I think it reminds us a lot of when we were kids and you'd go to like the book fair at school and you'd get all like the scariest stories you've ever heard books that were just all little short stories in there. And I think it's the nostalgia for that kind of thing as to why like those anthology stories get us.
I hadn't seen it yet. I was getting confused with the one that has like Ozzy Osbourne and Gene Simmons.
There's a horror movie with Ozzy Osbourne and Gene Simmons?
Yeah, it was called that. Wasn't it called Trick or Treat?
Yeah, it was 1986, Trick or Treat.
Damn, I never heard of that one. But I know, Tyler, you like Cat's Eye. So this
I love that,
This is like a Cat's Eye type.
Oh, no, I definitely have to see that because I love Tales from the Dark Side and Twilight Zone and Cat's Eye and Creep Show and all that.
Yeah. And Sam's, I think he's probably one of my favorite, like more modern, like horror characters because I think he kind of like embodies Halloween, and he has he has a little lollipop that he uses as a knife. That's like
oh no, okay, I gotta see this.
Yeah, it's cool.
Pumpkin,
yeah, really good one. You gotta watch it. Let's see. That was my number 3. We're going now to where are we at? Tylord's number 2.
No,
we're going to Zomberry's. Zomberry's number 3 pick.
Die!
Man, Zomberry, you're just trying to provide that nightmare fuel. Number 3, you've got Dog Soldiers.
Yeah, this is my favorite werewolf movie. Period. Wolf Cop's pretty good, but I like this one. This one has a group of soldiers, and I like war movies as well, so it kind of fit right into that. A group of soldiers take shelter during the war they're in a forest. One of them's injured, and this woman leads them to this cabin that they could find shelter in. They find dead enemy soldiers, and they're trying to radio in and fix a radio to call in for help and get evacuated out, and realize that they've been surrounded by a pack of werewolves outside. And basically all hell breaks loose and people start getting picked off, and they realize that their guns aren't really doing any good against them, and basically boils down to nobody left. It's not a very happy ending.
Another grim one.
But it's probably what would actually happen in this case. Yeah. Have you guys seen this?
Tylord, have you seen it? We can't. You're muted, Tylord.
I saw it. I remember I really liked it. I probably can't comment too much on it. It's been probably 20 years since I've seen it. But yeah, it's super scary, serious thing, kind of like 28 Days Later. Can you hear me?
I've never seen it. This is one of those ones that I've always wanted to watch, and I think it's because you've brought it up, Zomberry, in the past.
Yeah, I brought it up before. And it's it was made by the same guy that did The Descent.
Oh, that was another good one. Yeah,
it's also a good movie in this time period that we're talking about now.
Yeah. I was watching here on video the scene I was playing. That looks pretty scary because the werewolves look like they're like 8-9 feet tall.
Yeah, they're badasses.
Yeah, what do you do at that point? I mean, at least these guys have like guns, right? The soldiers, but
you're just trying to hold out until daylight.
Yeah. I feel like I would just take my own life at that point. Like, what's the point?
I think I'm trying to remember. I think that does come up in the movie.
Oh, does it? Okay. Don't you think if you're in a cabin surrounded by like 9-foot werewolves, you're either gonna like there's a slight chance you survive, or you're gonna be like killed in the most gruesome, most painful way ever.
Or you become a werewolf. There's always that one too.
Yeah.
Maybe you stick your hand out so it gets bit and then bring it back in. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was hopefully you lighten it up a little bit more. After that,
I think they
this
will.
shit's like this is grim stuff here. we're gonna go to Tylord's number 2 pick now.
Is this an international health hazard or a military concern?
Both.
Are these things alive or dead?
We don't know.
When there is no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth. Dawn of the Dead, rated R.
Is everyone dead? Dead-ish.
And number 2, Tylord's got Dawn of the Dead. What year is this again? 2000 what?
2004.
2004 is Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah. I guess I shouldn't have put 2 zombie movies that are so similar, but I just really like this one. And I like, of course, the original. I probably like more from the George J. Romero one from the late 70s. And then 28 Days Later was a banger. And this is kind of like a hybrid of Dawn of the Dead and 28 Days Later because they're undead flesh eaters, but they move really fast, like 28 Days Later. So it has a totally different feel, different vibe than the original movie. This one's kind of like I don't know what I would do in this situation too because they're fast zombies, but there is a group of survivors. It starts off really depressing, scary scene where the mom is just a suburban family or home. The baby or her daughter is infected, attacks them, gets the dad. The dad gets infected. She runs away, meets up with a group of people at a mall, which was the setting of the original Dawn of the Dead. Just survival situations. Not everyone gets along, but they kind of have to band together to overcome this unstoppable force. Just really good practical effects too. Good zombie effects. When I first saw this, I remember thinking it was CGI because it looked so clean. Some of the head blowing up and whatever. But I was watching the commentary. And there's one scene where they go underground, like in the sewer from the mall to get to the gun shop. And at one point, a zombie's head, like they shoot the zombie's head off with a gun. And that was practical effects, I guess. But I remember it looked like really clean. And I thought it was CGI when I first saw it. But I was watching the commentary. No, that's real practical effects, like a prosthetic head blowing up. Really dark scenes in this. But it has a little bit of humor, a little bit more than 28 Days Later, but still pretty dark, scary movie. Gross. The zombies are way more gross than 28 Days Later because these guys are like dead and they're decayed and body parts are falling off.
Did you rank
pretty
this
good
high
movie
because it has Batista in it?
Oh, is Batista in this?
Yeah.
Batista's in really? Where?
This is the
Oh,
one
I don't remember.
And Ving Rhames.
Oh, Ving Rhames, yeah, he's. I don't remember it being. I don't remember who he played in that.
Are you sure Batista was in this?
I'm looking at the cast list.
Oh,
Maybe
wow.
he was an extra? Because this was pre WWE. He wasn't even in WWE, I think, or he was like barely starting. I think this wasn't
he's listed in the cast.
That's crazy.
Oh, I gotta go try to pick him out or find him in there. Another great movie. Batista's in. Yeah.
I know Phil Dunphy from Modern Family is in there.
Yeah. It's got Ving Rhames is in it. Zack Snyder actually directed. He's like a big director now.
Yeah.
And I think James Gunn wrote some of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, what do you think
like
of it?
Savini was in it too.
Yeah, Tom Savini. Yeah, it had a lot of cameos. Like pretty all the main guys from the original had little cameos. I think Tom Savini was in it. I don't know. Did Tom Savini do any of the effects in this? I don't remember.
Maybe it was.
But I know
Nicotero guy that did. That's like his apprentice, right? Nicotero, Greg Nicotero.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Did you watch this one, Zomberry?
Yeah, I liked this one. I liked how they were on the roof, talking to another guy on another roof with signs holding them up.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
And Ving Rhames was playing chess with the other guy.
Yeah.
Don't they like snipe some guy that looks like Jay Leno?
They would be like, "Where's Waldo?" And he'd be like,
Yeah,
I think bolo hat, and he'd like find them and shoot them.
Yeah, or one of them was Burt Reynolds, right? Or was it?
Yeah, Burt Reynolds. Yeah.
Yeah. But let me ask both of you: this or the Romero one? Tyler, you got to pick one.
Oh, Romero one.
Zomberry.
I'd probably pick this one just because I remember it more of the movie.
Yeah.
I'd have to watch them both, back to back. And
yeah, this is probably one of the best remakes I've seen. It's not even really the same movie, just kind of similar scenario.
Yeah, I like that there was comedy, like that it had humor. Yeah. I don't know. But I don't have an attachment to the original one. The original one, I remember I thought the zombies looked kind of blue, right? They had like some bluish hue to them.
Yeah. I think they were supposed to be like They're supposed to be like they were like lifeless, like how when dead people are dead, their skin is turns whitish. There.
Yeah, I might go with the Zack Snyder one, but I like
Yeah.
the old one too because I remember it has Savini, and
Yeah.
I'm a big Savini fan.
Yeah. Oh
He's
heck
part of
yeah.
the biker gang, isn't
Yeah.
he?
Yeah.
Savini.
Yeah. And he gets chomped on at the end. Yeah.
That's not the one where the guy gets the zombie gets half his head chopped off or his forehead chopped off by the
Yeah. Yeah. That's
helicopter
the one.
pilot.
Yeah.
Is this
Yeah.
one? Yeah, okay. Yeah, great pick. Yeah,
Yeah.
not all I know that I think a lot of times as horror fans we complain about remakes like don't remake that movie, don't remake this
Yeah.
movie, but this one was actually good. I
Yeah.
mean, all right. Well, that was number 2. I'm gonna go to my number 2 pick now.
When someone dies in a state of terror, a curse is born.
The whole time I was in that house, I felt something was wrong.
Once you see it, you can never forget. Once it sees you, you can never escape. The Grudge.
At number 2, I've got The Grudge, the US version. So Jason X, not scary. Trick or Treat, not scary. Cabin Fever, not that scary. But this movie, like I think this is one of the only movies as an adult that I was scared. Like legitimately after I went to the theaters and watched it, I remember going home and I was gonna go to bed and I'm like laying down and the restroom door was open. And I remember like just in my head picturing like, what if the girl comes out with the long hair or the little boy that meows like a cat? And
Yeah.
legit, like I was scared. I was already in my 20s and I was legit scared.
Yeah.
So that I watched it the other day and I it doesn't scare me anymore, but I still really
Well,
like it. I still have a lot of fond
yeah.
memories of it. I don't know if Zomberry, you've seen this one, the US version, because there's a Japanese version, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think I want to say I've seen both of them. But this is, they move into a house that is haunted by these things, right? I think this was like the height of like Japanese little kid horror. Like
Yeah.
the Ring, had
Yeah.
this. It's always like little kids that scare in Japanese horror.
Yeah.
But this was good. And does this one have the little boy in the closet?
Yep. Uh-huh.
Yeah, dude. When they open the closet and that little boy's just sitting there and like his head rolls back and his mouth opens up, like
And he meows like a cat.
That's creepy.
What scares
he
me?
kind of crawls around like Gollum or something, right?
No, that's
or
the
doesn't he
girl.
crawl-
The girl like
Yeah.
walks like all like contorted and
Oh,
she's
that's
all
right. Yeah, it was
broken.
the girl. Yeah.
You seen
The
this
kid,
one,
the kid was
Tyler?
just meow meow. The little boy was meow meow. Yeah.
You seen this one, Tyler?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are
Yeah,
your
it was
thoughts
pretty
on this one?
scary. Yeah, I got scared by this and The Ring.
Yeah. See, the Ring didn't really scare me. On the part that did scare me is when the boyfriend or whoever's watching the TV and you see the
Yeah.
girl start crawling out. I remember I even kind of like
Yeah.
backed up in my chair like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But this one, like, this was like you brought up Zomberry, like the kind of the introduction to the Japanese horror stuff. I had never seen a Japanese horror movie. This one was influenced, right? What was the name of Ju-on or what was it called?
Yeah,
Oh
Ju-on.
yeah.
That this was my introduction, so I was like, "What? Why the hell is this little boy that meows like a cat, and this girl that's like contorted, and she walks down the stairs like a spider?" That shit scared me. I remember calling my friend, and I would do the. I would just call
Oh,
him and
that's
do
right.
that,
Yeah, that's yeah.
and he would get so pissed, like, "Don't fucking call me and do that shit." Scary.
They even made it a game for the Wii.
Oh
Did
yeah, I
they?
have that game.
Oh, I didn't know there was a
Yeah.
video game for the Grudge.
Yep.
Yeah, that shit was legit scary. I remember also I playing Evil Within on the Xbox,
Yeah.
and they have a character that's inspired by the girl. but instead of like it's still it's a girl's head, but she's on a spider body, which made it even
Yeah,
scarier.
that
And
was
it
a
gave me
tough boss fight. Yeah.
yeah, it gave me like flashbacks, like I like
Yeah.
PTSD, like now she's in the spider body, but obviously it's not the
Yeah.
same character, but it's inspired by The Grudge. And yeah, this is the last movie, I think, horror movie that like legit. Well, no, actually, no. There's one later on, but that'll be for next year maybe. But this was one of the last ones I remember scared me. All right. Well, I think we're all right. We're going to Zomberry's number 2. We're getting to the nitty gritty now, but we're gonna go to Zomberry's number 2 pick now.
Hoping to see a crash?
Of course.
Now, we have to get out of here.
We're all gonna die.
The 3D event of the summer has arrived.
I was meant to see this movie.
No mercy, no escape, no limits.
Everything's gonna be okay.
The Final Destination, rated R.
Sounds like a chick flick.
Zomberry finally lightened it up. We got
Yeah,
Final
I
Destination.
lightened it up a bit, you know. Yeah, I mean, I remember watching this movie when it first came out, and like, it was one of the first movies where, or horror movies where you knew all these people were going to die, but you're just like waiting to figure out how it's going to happen, and they just keep teasing you throughout the movie, like, oh, is it going to be this thing over here? You know, this, oh, the window's open and there's a breeze coming through. It's got to have something to do with that, you know. And then like you're trying to figure out like these different like Rube Goldberg machine effects that were going to end up killing these people. For those who haven't seen it, basically a kid escapes death on an airplane. He has a vision of the plane going down and him dying, and he sees things like the TV tray not working, or somebody switching in seats, and just different weird things. And then the plane goes down and he wakes up and he's there, and then he starts seeing those things happening in real life, and he decides to get off the plane. The plane crashes and everybody dies, and he realizes he escaped death after he brings some of his friends off the plane with him. But then death is just following all of them and trying to reclaim them one at a time in order of where they were sitting on the plane. And it's got, you know, I still can't drive on the road behind a truck carrying rebar without thinking some rebar is going to fly off and go right through my windshield. So
I was about to say that. Like I still when I drive on the highway and I'm behind one of those trucks that's carrying like wood, anything, I'm like, oh man, what if it falls and it impales me?
Just
like Final Destination.
Yeah. It sparked had a lot of sequels. I think 6 maybe.
Wow.
One of these days I'll have to go through and watch all of them, but I think they're all kind of the same.
Yeah.
But you know, it's kind of fun, even though you know this person's going to die. It's like you're trying to like do some detective work on, oh, maybe it's this barbecue that's over here sitting by itself that nobody's tending to, or maybe it's, you know, this over here, and it's kind of fun.
The movie teases it too, right? Like it'll like tease like, oh, this might kill him. Yeah, so that's a good one. I remember I think I've only seen the first one, but I do remember that. I mean, like you mentioned, to this day, I still like when I'm on the highway, I don't want to be behind like those big rigs, especially if they're carrying lumber or something that's gonna kill me. Yeah, that's a good one.
I fly a lot for work, and I'll sit down in my seat, and I'm like, use the little latch on the tray thing, like, okay, that's good.
You see this one, Ty Lord?
Yeah, I saw. I think I saw this at the theater actually. Yeah, it was pretty good. It's one of those ones that kind of stick with you, like like any little thing could kill you. Because I forget, did death, was it incarnated? Was it like death the character in this? I can't remember. Like
yeah, kind of, but it wasn't. They didn't take a physical form.
Yeah. So it was. Yeah, I just remember the fun.
Feel it.
Yeah. But I remember the fun. Yeah. Go ahead.
Wasn't there a part? Was this part one where they're like on a railroad track and then
Yeah, that's
like
what I was just gonna mention.
is that the one? This the one?
Yeah.
They hit a hubcap or hit
Yeah,
someone
the
and someone
hubcap
gets the
was rattling around from the vibration of the train, and then it flipped up onto the rail, and the train hit it, and it cut the guy's head off. yeah. That was my favorite one. Yeah.
What I like about that scene is like the person gets decapitated and it's like whatever. They just like move on to the next scene.
Yeah.
Like damn.
Yeah, it's like
everybody. Go ahead.
it's like a slasher movie where everything's the killer.
Yeah. Yeah, good pick. All right, well, we're going to our number ones now. We're gonna go. Let's see who's first. Ty Lord's first. We're gonna go to Ty Lord's number
excellent.
one. Favorite horror movie 2000 2009.
I just want to go home.
I'm going to get you some help.
No! Keep going! He's killing him!
Who's killing who?
Poor sweet boy. He's no harm.
Sweet boy.
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, rated R.
Ty Lord, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003. Your number one
Oh,
favorite movie 2000
Yeah.
2009.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't want to take anything away from the first one. I still much more prefer the original than this, but this is something different. It's a nice looking movie, nice production value, way gorier than the original one, really gross, hard to look at some of this movie. I think it's like we were talking about earlier with Dawn of the Dead. Like I think the 2000s had some good remakes, some solid remakes of classic horror movies. And it's, I don't think you can beat the original family, like the cook and the hitchhiker and Leatherface. But man, this one comes pretty close. Like Arlie Ermy plays the sheriff or the fake sheriff. Like he was like born to play that role, kind of just like with the drill sergeant and in Full Metal Jacket. Like man, he was like the scariest guy in the movie. The creepy old sheriff. He was kind of like the father of the family. I really loved Leatherface was super imposing, physically imposing in this. That independent wrestler, was his name Andrew Brainarski, played him. So he was like a physically imposing, scary looking Leatherface. And then, of course, the last girl. I feel like we've talked about this movie before. Maybe it was in.
I forgot. Well, when did we talk about this?
It was when we ranked all the Texas Chainsaw.
Oh yeah, we ranked all the Texas Chainsaw. Yeah. But Jessica Biel, I think we agreed back then, the hottest final girl. Yeah, and cool character too. Like I really liked her in this movie. Like she was like a good girl that was always trying to help out everyone.
I did like her.
Yeah, really gross scenes in this. Like it got way more visually graphic than the original one.
Yeah, I really liked Arlie Ermey's character in this.
Yeah.
He was just so intimidating to those kids.
Yeah.
You know, when he first pulled up, and
he was like a badass cook. Like in the original, you got the cook.
Yeah, he was kind of like the cook. Yeah, but more scary, a lot scarier. I guess in the situation, the cook was scary because he had the girl tied up, and this guy like has a gun, and you think he's a cop. I'm like, what the?
Well, then you find out he wasn't really the
sheriff. Yeah.
He killed the sheriff and took his badge in uniform.
Yeah.
Now he's the sheriff.
Yeah, I remember watching this in the theaters too, and not like really knowing what to expect because I love the first one so much. But like you mentioned, Tyler, I really liked that they didn't just try to remake the first one because I don't think they could have. Like, you're not gonna make that same movie.
Yeah,
that's like it's its own thing. So I like that it was different. Like Leatherface was different in the first one. He's like this just this fat dude played
Yeah,
by, no disrespect to the late great Gunnar Hansen, but it was just like this
yeah,
fat dude that it's a
yeah,
little like delayed, and he's more
yeah,
scared than
yeah. He's more scared than they are. Yeah,
this Leatherface,
yeah,
like you said, he's played by that pro wrestler. This dude was
yeah,
huge, man. This guy was
yeah,
intimidating. You would not want to see this guy in a dark alley.
yeah, yeah.
And yeah, it was I really like this movie. One of the scenes that sticks out to me, I remember watching it in the theater, and I could feel it, is when he chainsaws like the guy's like leg or
Yeah, like the back
kneecap.
of his leg. Yeah,
Yeah, like when the guy's, I think, trying to run through like all this laundry, and then
yeah.
Leatherface just cuts him off and
Oh, that's
like
right. Yeah,
chainsaws his leg. Yeah, it's a great pick.
yeah,
This, yeah, this easily could have been like my number 3. I think number 3, number 4, number 5.
yeah.
Yeah. Any other thoughts on it before
Nope.
we move on?
Oh no, yeah. Just recommend that anyone hasn't seen it. I don't think it's sacrilege at all to like that movie because Texas Chainsaw Massacre 1's like probably in my top 5 movies ever made, but I really like the remake.
Let me ask you, Zomberry, is this the last decent or good Texas Chainsaw movie?
It's the last one. It's the most memorable of the late ones. I'd say yeah.
He had Leatherface, right? And then what was the
Mhm.
Netflix called? Did it have the, or
It
did
was
didn't
just
have
called
the?
it. Yeah, it was just Texas Chainsaw Massacre or the Texas. I can't remember. And then there was the 3D one. Oh,
Yeah.
and the beginning was pretty good. I think probably the same director did that.
Oh, that's right. All right. Yeah, that one came
Uh,
after. Even though it was the
yeah,
prequel, right? It came after.
yeah. And it
All
had
right.
R. Lee was back.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go to my number 1 pick now.
For generations, they have been the 2 biggest names in terror. He may get the blood, but I'll get the glory.
Freddy's coming back.
This summer, for the first time ever,
She's mine!
2 legends will come together.
It's time to put this bad dog to sleep.
Freddy versus Jason. Winner kills all. Rated R.
Number 1, I've got Freddy versus Jason.
I was hoping one of you guys picked this as your top
Hell
5.
yeah. So anytime we do movie podcasts, I always try to start watching the movies like a month ahead of time. This was the first one I watched, and I put it at number 1, and I was like, let's see if any of the ones I watch after dethrone it. To me, none of them could. Like I think it's the little bit of the nostalgia bias too, and my memories of going to watch this, and like the anticipation of like years of waiting for this, like hearing about like, oh, this movie might happen, and just waiting for it, and then it finally came out.
And even
And
before hearing about
yeah,
it, you just always wondered, like you would talk with your friends, like who would win, between these guys.
yeah,
Yeah. We would talk about that for years, like when we were kids, like way back, like in the early 80s.
Yeah, it would probably turn
Yeah.
into fights in the schoolyard. Like, nah,
Yeah,
Freddy sucks.
yeah.
I the first time I heard about this, I remember. Well, the first ever Friday the 13th I saw, I mentioned, was Jason Goes to Hell. So I remember like what the hell, like that end scene
The
with
best case.
Freddy's, and just being like, what is Freddy doing in a Jason movie? And just like, okay, the next movie's gonna be them fighting, and nothing
Yeah.
happened for years. And I remember I worked at a vitamin shop and sitting like in the back and listening to the radio. I think it was like K Rock out here, a local rock station.
Yeah.
And they had like reports like, oh, there is talks that in the works is a screenplay for Freddy Krueger versus Jason. And this was like 1997. I was like, what? Like it's happening? Like I was like all freaked out. And then of course it didn't happen for what was this, 2004, for like almost
Yeah.
another 8 years. So damn, I just remember trying to go see this out in like, was it Glendale? Yeah, Glendale out here in California. Sold out. Like it was sold out that first night. So we had to drive to Universal Studios. They have a theater there. and watching it there, and it felt like going like when I watched WrestleMania 18, Hogan versus Rock. Like it felt like a WWE pay-per-view. Like half the people were rooting for Freddie, half the people were rooting for Jason, and it was like like I said, a big fight feel like. And then when Jason he hulks up and he makes the comeback at the end, and everybody, oh yeah, man, just nothing could dethrone this one for me as far as early 2000s. I don't know, Ty Lord, if you have any thoughts on this one.
Oh no, I love it. Yeah, and it has it's super high budget, like a spectacle, like you said, but it also kind of like did a good job. It kind of feels like a Nightmare on Elm Street movie, and it feels like a Friday the 13th movie. Like it, and it blends it together well, like better than I ever thought it would. It kind of combines the two universes. I don't know if they were ever supposed to be part of the same universe, but this movie did it good. And I love all the Easter eggs and the references to the movies. Like Freddy's mom, Freddy is taken form of Jason's mom to get him to do his bidding. I thought that was cool. And even I think the kids in the ward or the hospital were on that drug to keep them from dreaming, and that was the same drug. It was, I forget the name of it. It was the same drug that Nancy was on in part 3.
Right.
I can't remember what, but I like little Easter eggs like that, and I always preferred the Jason movies over the Freddy movies. But for some reason, I was pulling for Freddy in this. Like he was the real heel of the movie, and I was pulling for him.
It's because you're a heel, damn it! You like the
yeah. Even though I probably like Jason more, and I like the movies more with Jason. But for some reason, I was pulling for Freddy in it.
And then it comes down to the final battle at the end, and you're like, oh, maybe Jason's gonna win. Maybe Freddy wins.
Yeah.
And then Freddy sticks his glove in, but then Jason comes down with the hatchet and machete, and they fall in the water, and who's gonna come up and who's gonna be the winner?
And there's still debate. Nobody really won at the end. And that's
because
the fun part.
He comes out carrying Freddy's head, severed head, and it has him look up at him, I'm still alive, fucker.
This was, I'm too young to have lived through Werewolf and Frankenstein, or those universal movies, monster movies where Dracula would fight Frankenstein. But
the mashups,
I feel like that was our version.
Yeah.
Kind of bummed out it hasn't happened more often. I know they had Alien versus Predator, but I don't have the same attachment to those characters.
Yeah, I was hoping they do another one with Evil Dead, because remember they did plant that little seed in Jason X, or Jason Goes to Hell, where the Voorhees mother, I can't believe I forgot her name, Jason's mom had the Necronomicon in her house.
Right. Yeah.
Ash versus Jason.
Yeah, that would be awesome. It's probably can't happen anymore, but yeah.
It was only in comic book form, right? That they did Ash versus Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. That would have been cool to get, but yeah, I couldn't. Like I said, I watched 6 more movies, and I was like, nope, it's still Freddy versus Jason. That's awesome. Still my number one. Yeah. All right, now we're going to the last number 1 pick, Zomberry.
Mommy, there's a man in my room.
Are you sure he's not just hiding in your imagination?
Critics are calling Saw the year's scariest film.
He finds ways for his victims to kill themselves.
The suspense is breathtaking.
He doesn't want us to cut through our chains. He wants us to cut through.
Your skin will crawl right off your bones.
Oh my God!
Saw.
There's no such thing as the bad man.
Rated R.
Number 1, Saw. Zomberry's got Saw.
Yeah, another one that our gracious cameo host mentioned of mine. Sparks, I think they're up to 10 now. Saw X, I think, just came out.
Oh, damn,
I remember watching this and just seeing that first scene there where the two people wake up in that cell and they're chained. You know, their legs are chained to the ground, and they're trying to figure out how to get out. And you realize kind of what's going on, and like the hopelessness of being in those situations. Like, you know, it's you or me, or I've got to do this to myself to survive. And, you know, these guys, they had no idea what was going on. And then you have, you know, Jigsaw comes up on the TV, the little puppet, and you don't find out until many movies later, you know, what it's really kind of about. But yeah, it's cool. Like, it kind of had some puzzle to it, you know, and I like those kind of films that are more psychological thrillers than just slasher movies. And, you know, this is like he's kind of a serial killer, but he doesn't actually kill anybody. You know, he makes them do these things to themselves. So it's not like torture porn, like Hostel or anything like that, but a lot of self-inflicted, like, how do I get out of this situation? Yeah, I've got the 8 film collection, but I think now that they're up to the 10th one,
oh, nice.
I'll have to rebuy it. Yeah, I think I've only seen 5 of the 8 though. 5 of the 10, I've seen half of them. A ghost just opened that door behind you. I saw that.
Oh.
Would you say this is the best one? This is the best, your favorite one from all the Saws?
The first one's my favorite.
Yeah.
What about you, Tyler?
Like most movies.
Yeah. What about you, Tyler? What do you think about Saw, the OG Saw?
Oh, I love OG Saw. I remember I went over to a friend. We had some friends over, and we had kind of like a party, and we watched this when it first came out to rent at the Blockbuster, whatever it was, and we went. Man, I really enjoyed this. It's like he was saying, it's kind of like psychological, kind of like a mystery movie. I thought it was pretty engaging and fun through the whole thing, and it spawned that whole series. I think I enjoyed the second one quite a bit, where the group of people woke up in the house. They know how they got, but this one's the best. And it was good to see a homeboy from Princess Bride back again. What's his name?
He comes back in the second one. The dude from part
No,
one?
I mean, he was only in the first one.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember that actor's name from Robin Hood Men in Tights.
And Liar. I think he's in Liar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Yeah.
I do remember.
Yeah.
I think if I would have seen it again this last month, it would have been in my top 5 for sure.
Yeah.
Because I remember, like, you know, can we, like, I want to say no, I don't want to spoil it, but I'm like, man, if you haven't seen this movie, it's been out for like 20 years already.
Yeah,
but
you can't spoil any of these.
There's something in the story that I was like, I thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
Parts of the movie, but yeah, it's a great movie. I really like this
Yeah.
movie. It's a fun one. And,
Heck yeah.
and it also is one of those that makes me think also like 28 Days Later or zombie movies. Like, what would I do in that situation?
Oh, yeah.
Like, would I use a scalpel like on Tyler to take out the key from his brain? From his
Yeah.
Is that the one they do it in? This one?
Yeah, would you cut off your foot to get out of the shackle?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it makes you wonder. Like, what would you do? What would you do in that situation? Crazy. All right. Well, that was our top 5 favorite movies from 2000 to 2009. I think the only repeat was 28 Days Later.
Yeah.
That was the only one. Yeah.
Wow, I'm
Zomberry,
surprised.
Tyler. Yeah. Yeah, I thought Zomberry would have had Shark Attack 3 also. I'm kind of shocked.
What about Paranormal Activity? Whatever happened to Paranormal Activity?
I was gonna say that when you said your
Yeah.
list, Zomberry, that was your number 1 on your all-time favorite horror movie.
I caught enough shit for that.
But why are you letting us influence you?
My favorite movies change often.
Okay.
I'm not one that sticks to, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't stick to Jaws, and you know that's, you know.
Well, to be fair, I think on that first episode you did say like this could change, or I think one of us said like our list could change. But I feel the same way. Like For example, I love Friday the 13th. For a long time, Part 6 was my favorite. Now it's Final Chapter. But Part 1 is slowly creeping up that list. So who knows? Maybe Part 1 will be my favorite in a few years. But yeah, that was only repeat. It was 28 days later. Honorable mentions, Ty Lord. What do you have? Honorable mentions. Did he freeze? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
I might be
We'll
getting
give
bad reception here. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
What are your honorable
Okay.
mentions?
I was gonna. Yeah. Oh, I would say probably that Freddy versus Jason would be one of them. I didn't mention Hostel. I thought that was a pretty good, the gore, pretty good movie. Hostel. What else? I didn't mention it before, but another remake I didn't mind. I know you said you didn't care much for it. Was the Friday the 13th? That one would be an honorable mention. Probably Saw 1 and 2. I even enjoyed The Ring. Yeah.
What about you, Zomberry? Which ones didn't crack the top 5?
My honorable mentions I have listed here. Trick or Treat was on there. The OG Silent Hill, just like Resident Evil. They made these movies, based on video games. Silent Hill, I think, I really liked the way that it took that world and put it on TV. It's kind of like the Upside Down in. Shit, what's that newer show? The I'm talking about, the Upside Down.
I don't know. Oh, the Stranger Things?
Stranger Things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it reminds me of that. And then a lot of the movies, The Ring, the Descent, and The Orphanage.
Oh, was the Orphanage the Guillermo del Toro? Was that one? Okay, yeah, I've seen that one.
Yeah, and he also did Pan's Labyrinth, which also fell in that 2009. That was okay. That was just kind of.
Yeah, is that a horror movie? Because I saw when I googled best horror movies of early 2000s.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I saw that in there, but I was like, I thought it was like a fantasy,
I think
scary.
it was more,
yeah. All right. Well, I think I got some of the ones you guys had on your list. I have American Psycho, Texas Chainsaw 2003. I got Saw, Hostel, Jeepers Creepers. I really like the
man, was
original
that?
Jeepers.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was in that. Yeah, I like that one too.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah,
Because they go down in that pipe at the beginning.
Yeah.
like who's gonna pull over the side of the road and go down this pipe? Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. I think leaving the camera off is good, Tyler. Maybe I'll put a picture of you.
Okay, yeah.
I'll edit in a picture.
Yeah, my internet was starting to get choppy there.
Yeah, but Jeepers Creepers. Did you guys know that Jeepers Creepers, the story was they took it from an episode of Unsolved Mysteries?
Oh, really?
Oh,
yeah. If you YouTube it, like Jeepers Creepers Unsolved Mysteries,
that's awesome.
They stole it from a segment from Unsolved Mysteries, like
oh no way.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I also had Planet Terror. That's the last. That one actually shocked me. It wasn't in my top 5. I saw it this week, and I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be number 3, number 2." No, I was like, "Man, I remember liking it more back then because I had never seen anything like it. Like I had never seen any of those grindhouse style movies. That was the first time I ever saw something like that, and I remember being." Yeah, I think when watching the movie this week, what I liked more was the trailers, like the Thanksgiving one. I think it's Eli Roth, like the fake horror movies.
Yeah.
But and of course it's got that. What's that actor's name? The one that was dating Marilyn Manson. What's
Christina
her name?
Ricci.
No, that's not her. The one that has like a.
No, that's Rose McGowan.
Oh yeah.
This one goes out to you, Rose McGowan.
With the machine gun legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still a fun movie, but I hadn't noticed until I watched it this week. I was like, man, it had a lot of bad CGI.
Yeah.
which kind of shocked me. I didn't remember the CGI back then, and this time
Mm.
I saw all the CGI. All right, so that was it. But you guys know already.
Oh no.
It's tradition around here to play a little
Mm-mm.
trivia game at the end of the episode. And Zomberry, right now, Tyler's he's still reeling. He's vulnerable right now.
Yeah.
Still reeling from the last episode where CM Retro ended his streak.
Yeah.
So he's ripe for the pickings right now. So we're gonna take a quick commercial break and come right back for that trivia game.
Not afraid of the dark? You don't know Jack. Look out for the new Halloween Horror Nights 10, only at Universal Studios. Florida residents save $10 with a specially marked 2-liter Coca-Cola Classic label or coupon.
All right, guys.
I want to go to that.
Yeah, me too.
We'll go to Taco Bell. You get a $10 off. I've been telling Tyler, you got to go to Universal Studios Hollywood. I think
Oh, man.
they're about to get rid of the Jaws
Oh,
attraction in the tram ride
no.
forever. It's going to be gone for good.
No.
Yeah. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. You guys already know the drill. I'm going to play 10 clips from 10 horror movies from 2000 to 2009. You raise your hand. Whoever I see first, I'll call on you. You don't get penalized if you get it wrong, but you can only answer once. That's it. Okay? Got it?
Yes.
All right. And let me just put a little scoreboard right here so I can keep track. All right. First clip.
Joey. Hey, Joey. You in there?
I'm going to fast forward it to where the action picks up.
Fuck off me! Take that, motherfucker!
You know what? I think I'm gonna edit this one out because this one's too hard.
That is tough.
Yeah, this one's too hard. We're not gonna count this one. We need something with talking. I didn't get to watch this one before I edited. All right, so that one doesn't count. Let me go to the next one.
What was it?
It was Friday the 13th, 2009.
Oh man, that was on the that was one of the guesses I was going to make.
Yeah. All right, here goes the next one.
Yeah.
Here goes the first. Here goes the real first pick.
Doesn't move. It's too much for him. Doesn't make any sense, Rachel. I spent 4 hours on the internet and I couldn't find one single case of a 16-year-old girl's heart just stopping. I spoke to 3 different doctors and not one of them could tell me exactly what happened to my daughter.
I see Zomberry.
Is that The Ring?
It is
The
Ring. That is The Ring. All right. So Zomberry's on the board. First one's correct. And my dog, Tigger, he's agrees. You're correct. All right, next one.
Calm down.
yourself. Okay. That's what you need. Need chronic. Easy, bro. Need to relax. Cool out. Smoke a joint. Yeah.
I see Zomberry.
Is that Leprechaun in the Hood?
That is correct.
Oh,
It is Leprechaun in the Hood. I have to add in a little ding noise. I forgot to include it this time. Yeah. So Zomberry, I'm telling you. Tyler's still reeling from that last episode. All right. Next one.
Help! Help!
We need to get her in here before they find her. Wait. What? Look at the rooftops behind her.
Please!
They're using her as bait.
That's all we had for the clip. It looks like you're both stumped.
I thought Zomberry was raising his hand.
I was for a while there, but then I knew it wasn't that. So
Oh, sorry, I didn't even see you. But what do you want to take a guess? You don't get penalized.
I'll guess Resident Evil.
It is not Resident Evil. You want to take a wild guess, Tyler?
I don't know. War of the Worlds.
It is not War of the Worlds. It is 30 Days of Night.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's another. Okay.
I can see that
A
now.
vampire one.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Let's go to the next one.
얘들의 곁에 빠지고 내가 이쪽에 아주 들어가가지고 끝장을 봐야겠다.
아 그냥 틀어.
뭐 총알 없냐? 내 가만 남았어. 아 그래?
아 그냥 가자니까.
가지고 빨리 차로 가 있어.
아버지 그냥 와.
내가 말고 빨리.
아버지 그냥 와.
I see Zomberry.
Is that Ichi the Killer?
It is not Ichi the Killer. I keep playing the clip.
내가 한 방에 죽였겠어 이번. 나와. 뭐야? 야 남주야, 너 지금 뭐 하고 있는 거야? 남주야, 어디야? 위험해 빨리 가. 아 진짜. 야, 누가 제좀 빨리 잡고 가.
Well, that's it for the clip, Tyler. Do you want to take a wild guess?
I don't know. I don't know what it is.
It's The Host.
Oh,
Japanese.
okay. Yeah, I haven't seen that in a while.
All right, let's go to the next one.
Do you want anything from the shop?
Cornetto.
I see Zomberry.
Shaun of the Dead.
It is Shaun of the Dead. Oh man, Tyler, you're in trouble right now. right, got Zomberry's got 3, Tylord 0. Let's see how many do we have left. Can you even come back? Let's see, we got 1. We have 4 more left. Go to the next clip.
Taken us back to their planet and put us in some kind of zoo, but there's a sign that says don't
Making up more childhood sexual abuse.
Sticks and stones, Fatso.
They want to fatten us up before the slaughter, unless they are feeding us, and we just don't know it. Well, they're not, and they're just waiting and watching.
Are there 2 clips playing at the same time here?
They're watching TV.
This is getting so boring.
It's an ancient game. The throwing of pennies at the local moron or midget.
I can't see the TV. I said I can't see the TV. Would you like me to throw you at her head?
That's it for the clip. No guesses?
Man, I don't know. Ginger snaps?
It is Ginger Snaps.
Oh.
It is Ginger Snaps. Hold on. I think Tylord, you might be out. Hold on. We got... Yeah, we have 3. You're out, Tylord. We're gonna keep playing and let's see if we can get you on the board. I don't know why I have a feeling this might be like too modern.
Yeah, this is out of my range of knowledge.
You're too old, Tylord. You're too old.
All right, let's go to the next one.
You don't have to do this. You can stop now. You please! No. Please listen to me. You can stop now. You don't have to do
Zomberry.
Is it hostile?
It is not hostile. Any wild guess, Tylord?
I don't know. The Descent.
It is not The Descent. That was The Strangers from 2008. All right, let's go to the next one.
Wait a sec. How was it?
Good.
Goddamn, motherfucker. With this money, it better be. Shit. What'd you go for, a local? What, European?
American.
Ain't that a bitch? Big spender. I love it. I just fucking love that shit. You know what they got for me? They told me they wanted something special.
I see Tylord.
That's hostile, right?
It is hostile. We got you on the board. Not a complete job match. You got a jumping Jim Brunzil drop kick in there.
Not a shutout.
Not a
Yeah,
shutout.
yeah, that was a jumping Jim Brunzell drop kick.
A Jim Powers clothesline. All right. Let's go to the next clip.
You girls stay in the dirt till I tell you different. You motherfucker! Get on the fucking floor! I said
I see Zomberry.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
It is the Texas
Oh, excellent.
Chainsaw Massacre. Tyler's number one pick.
Yeah.
Oh man. What's going on, Tyler? 8-0. Now you're 8-2. You got any word? Can you explain? Are you still like feeling the effects of last month's episode? What's going
Yeah,
on?
I got to train more into the 2000s.
All right. Well, Zomber, you got the win.
That was my first win.
Oh, that was it. Oh,
I
excellent.
want to thank everybody.
He's retiring now. 5-1. Yeah, good stuff. All right, well, we're gonna. That's it for the trivia game. We're gonna take a quick commercial break and wrap things up here.
Yeah.
Wow, Millhouse, that frozen black cherries turned your tongue black. My tongue's black too.
Let me try.
Hey,
Must have black tongue.
This Halloween, the Simpsons are at Burger King. Now, in every big kid's meal, you can get a Simpsons spooky light up. They gleam, they scream, and you can collect all 15 at Burger King. Where else?
I could go for a Whopper with cheese right about now.
Yeah, me too.
right,
I'd have to get the Impossible Whopper without cheese, but
Oh, the fake meat one.
yeah.
The Beyond Burger.
The Beyond Burger. Yeah. So that's it, guys. Thank you, Tyler. Thank you, Zomberry, for coming back on. This is our third annual
right.
horror movie episode. Next year, I think everybody can guess what next year will be. We'll come back next year for that Halloween episode. But Zomberry, still no YouTube. Nothing you want to plug?
No, but I promised my son I would shout out his YouTube channel, Hunter 5.0, where he does some gaming videos, some Oculus stuff, Gorilla Tag, that kind of stuff.
Oh,
What's Gorilla Tag? What is that?
It's a VR game where you play as gorillas and you swing around through different, it's like parkour type levels.
Oh, nice.
But the funniest thing is watching my son and his best friend both in the same room playing this game on their headsets because they're just standing in one spot, just like running or swinging their arms around. They look like they're going to hit each other. And it's just, they're not talking. It's just silent, but they're doing this weird like dance with each other. It's funny.
Hey, that sounds like a workout. Which
yeah.
Oh, they come out of that room. You go in that room and it smells like a wrestling locker. It's bad.
Yeah, very cool. So send me Zomberry the link to his channel, and for the listeners, audio listeners, I'll put it in the show notes of the episode. It's on YouTube. All these episodes go on YouTube, so I'll put it in the description. Just send me the link.
Yeah.
Nice.
Tylord, what you got?
Not much lately. I'm still at Tylord on YouTube, at Tylord79 on Instagram if you want to stop by and say hi. I recently got my Twitch working, and I'll probably be doing more of that since the only thing I can stream Xbox on is Twitch. So I'm trying to No Death Golden Axe. It's kind of frustrating too much. I don't want to have any more heart problems. But I've been trying to No Death Golden Axe on it.
Hey, I must say this. I've watched your streams. For those of you that have never been in a Tylord Twitch or YouTube stream, you gotta at least go just for the rage. Did you know Zomberry Tyler's got some gamer rage?
That's hilarious. I'll have to watch.
He has some rage. I was watching. I think you were playing. Was it Golden Axe 1 or 2?
Yeah.
That you were trying to No Death run.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's worth it just for that. I'll say that. So I'll put I'll put links, like I said, in the show notes on the audio podcast, and in the description I'll put the link if you're watching on YouTube. Yes, for me, Retro Tiburon on all the social medias, retrotiburon.com. If you want to check out the archive episodes, you can also leave me a voicemail and I will play it on the damn podcast. I think the last person that left me a voicemail was my wife. But if somebody leaves a voicemail on there, just look for there's like a purple microphone on the bottom right hand corner. You can leave me a voicemail and I'll play it on here, as long as it's not, like I said, super racist or something like that. And I am now live streaming on Twitch, playing video games and stuff. Everybody's always welcome when we play Mario Kart. I played with Tylord. What were we playing last time? Shredder's Revenge.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
Everybody's welcome to come in and jump in. So I'll put links to all our stuff, like I said, description or show notes. But that's it, guys. Any final words as we head out of here?
No, just thanks for having me again. I always enjoy talking to you guys. I kind of look forward to these episodes when we can get together and talk about horror movies.
Yeah,
Zomberry,
can't wait till the next one.
Zomberry, you got a quote. Give us a quote, something to take with us in our journey, this journey of life.
Don't sweat the small stuff.
There you go. See you guys on the other side.